Hello and welcome again to Forgotten Temples Cambodia with myself, Mr. B. Today you find me at East Mebon. Now this is a large temple. It's another one that's in the Angkor Wat complex, and we're ticking those off due to two reasons. One, the monsoon season has turned those dusty roads into rivers of mud, and secondly, there's nobody here due to COVID-19. So golden opportunities in life, you pluck them and you take them. That's the way to get on. Now this temple is a large one, and it's one that was built for that mighty of lords, the one of destruction, Lord Shiva. But it's not only him that's here, because my favourite god, Inra, is also supposed to be here, so I look forward to seeing him. Why don't you join me as we take a quick 10-minute tour around and see what we can find. And you've got to admit, he's quite the impressive sight, isn't he? And the first thing we notice we come in is we've got two grand lions here, a common feature. But these ones look a bit more fierce, for this gentleman has his teeth still. And if we go along this mighty wall, can you see right at the end there? Damri, an elephant, and they're in excellent condition, so we will be visiting them. But for now, I believe Inra, my favourite god, is this way. Now, up the ancient stairway we go. And look, because there's going to be a bit of an optical illusion. See this doorway? We can see the shikra there, perfectly framed in the middle. But as we go forward, now this is where I want you to pay attention. If we look at this doorway, oopsie, notice the one, and then it reveals as 5. Look, I'm going to do that again. So just step back, step back, step back, step back, step back. Okay, so this is 1. Now watch, it's like a pair of curtains opening as these others come into the frame. 3, then 5. Isn't that remarkable? I think that's really, really clever, because it just unveils itself as being a much bigger space than maybe one would anticipate. And look at the base that this thing is on. And bear in mind, we've already come upstairs. It is an enormous amount of work. And up the stairs we come. And again, slap bang in the centre, we're flanked left and right by those ancient lions. And here is that central temple. It's absolutely magnificent, isn't it? Now, what I wish to do first, before we go into the holies of the holies, and guess what? I can see a statue head peeking through, which is wow, but we're saving that because it's going to be an absolute treat. First, we're going to look for Inra, and he'll be in one of these lintels you see. Now, Inra is one of the Hindu gods. He's responsible for thunder and lightning and all sorts of things. And he's my favourite because what he does is he gets himself in a spot of bother. Well, he likes to party a bit. He has a few drinkies and gets a bit carried away with the ladies. That's what the legends say. And subsequently, the other gods frown on him a bit. But to me, he sounds like quite the guy, because that used to be my life for oh so long. So I can identify with him. And look, here he is. And how we recognise him, he's atop of his elephant. So here he is. Hello, Inra. It's always a pleasure to see him. And you know what? Sometimes I get a bit scared going up places or maybe down places. And I call his name, you know. I honestly do. Now, here is a plinth. And that is absolutely huge. Wow. Good Lord. Right. But the whole temple is just big, isn't it? I mean, I've got the camera retracted as far as I can. And I think the clouds will actually help give an idea as to how large this place is. It's really bold. I mean, I don't wish to say it, but it's a bit show-offy, really, because it's just so big. And the other thing you're not seeing is round here, you see, this was all water. So this temple was actually on a sort of man-made island. So it would have been even more amazing because, you know, the water reflecting around, and on this man-made island is this a mighty temple, and it's absolutely huge. But a lot of it is obviously this base, this big causeway, this big feature here, the big base, because when you're putting this much weight onto a temple, obviously, you know, you don't want the thing to fall over. And the only way you're going to achieve that is to spread the load. And here are these steps that lead us up. Now, you remember me spotting, here's a lady, and what she's doing is getting the offerings ready, because she's come here to ask for good fortune and good luck from the top man himself, and that is Buddha. And here he sits. And this is a very, very large temple, the singular bit here. And see these four plinths? Well, there would have been four statues. And maybe, you know, it wasn't just Shiva. Maybe there's Vishnu in here and all sorts. But, of course, we will never know. But what we do have is our dear friend Buddha. And isn't it wonderful to see these temples are still being used for the purpose that they were built for? And this is where we end our tour, and it's next to my dear friend Mr. Elephant, because he's central to this story. This was the powerhouse that built this enormous temple, and it wasn't as though he didn't just have to contend with moving all these blocks. All the earth that came to make this man-made hill that then put this enormous temple on, which is then surrounded by water, is quite simply a Herculean task. And the only one that could have done it was literally thousands, if not tens of thousands of these elephants scattered across the land. So we have a great debt that we owe them. I have a great fondness for the elephant, I really do. Such a gentle animal and so noble. As always, I ask you to like, subscribe and comment. And if by chance you can drop a few coins, then it's www.patreon.com. Even a tank of gas a month would help me greatly to catalogue these temples. Until next time, this is Mr. B saying, I wish you absolutely nothing but the very best. Take good care.